Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today we're going to make a wine rack. So I was inspired. I saw some pictures online of this wine rack and I was just inspired to make it myself. So I basically went to Home Depot, found these square dowels and went for it. So I think I bought 6 of these dowels. Each one was 36 inches long. So I did the measurements based off of how many columns I needed for, the wine rack. So basically I cut 8 pieces that were 12 inches long, 4 pieces that were 8 inches long, and then 15 pieces that were 4 inches long. So I did have some extra wood left over, which was good, but I did those measurements right there in Home Depot. I just said, okay, I counted up the pieces that I could see in the picture that could make this wine rack, and I just did the math there. If you're not good at math, I would suggest, you can do it my way. Get 6 dowels like this, and then cut them into, 8 12-inch pieces, 4 8-inch pieces, and then 15 4-inch pieces. So yeah, all I'm doing here is I'm using my circular saw to cut the wood into those pieces. So once you get pretty good at using your saws, you can do 2 pieces of wood at a time. These are really small pieces, so you can just go ahead and do them. I'm using my DeWalt. I can't even think of what it's called. I'll insert that here. To hold the wood down, because the wood's gonna move when you cut it. So here I am. Wish I would have angled this better. Okay, I did move it. So yeah, here I'm laying my base down. So the whole time I had my picture up because I wanted it to be a replica of what I was seeing. I did start using screws. And if I would have planned this out better, like next time I make a wine rack, I actually know what I'm going to do. This is totally impromptu. That's the problem. But it still worked out. But I thought I should just screw everything together. So that's basically what I do here. I'm probably going to fast forward through this a little bit. You can do that. You might want to measure out where you're putting your holes at. I was not. Nothing was mismeasured or anything, but yeah, it just think about all the pieces that I had. I couldn't just sit there and drill holes and screws into all of that. So I grabbed my trusty dusty hot glue gun. If you don't want to use hot glue, you can always use wood glue. Now I do want to tell you, if you use wood glue, you're gonna need something to hold everything together. So you can only glue one piece at a time, because that glue, it takes like 30 minutes to dry. Hot glue is like, instant. So I use the hot glue. So at this point, I'm showing you guys all my flaws and all. I don't care because it's a learning curve for everyone. So yeah, I just put the glue down and I just stood my first column up. So yeah, I'm just doing like so. So yeah, you guys can follow this step by step, and that was another problem. One thing that you'll learn when you are cutting wood is that the blade, you have to always measure the blade thickness when cutting. And I tend to forget that sometimes. So yeah, some little pieces were short, but I had extra wood, so that was a good thing. So right now I'm just making sure that bottom one is 12 inches across. So I'm making sure that they're pretty evened out. So that's where I'm putting the glue at the 4-inch spot and at the 8-inch spot, so that they can be, at least somewhat lined up. So yeah, if you don't have a circular saw, um, if you're looking for a saw, I would say get like a miter saw or a table saw. Um, I think the miter and the table saw are going to be my next cuts. I like the miter saw because the blade is up. It's like up on the handle, and all you have to do, you put the wood down, and then you just bring the blade down, and it just slices it. You still have to account for that blade thickness too, but I feel like more things happen with my circular saw, like me going off because my hand might jerk a certain way, and so then that wood gets cut at an angle. So I think that that miter saw is going to be more accurate than that circular saw. So yeah, unless you have surgical hands and you can hold that saw steady, and maybe with more practice I can get it down packed. But sometimes I get those angles, and then I'm like, great, now I have to cut this little piece of wood off and try to get that straight. So I think the miter saw will be better for this project. And don't worry about the hot glue. You can take the excess off, so that's nothing to worry about. And as you can see, I was still trying to screw these pieces together. Like I said, it's not a bad idea. It's just, yeah, it's not a bad idea. It's just, it would have taken me probably 3 times as long trying to screw every little piece together. I did take the time to drill the holes. That wasn't that bad. That's easy. But sitting there, making sure they're lined up, and that is the part that I just wasn't looking forward to. So I just started hot gluing. When all else fails, just hot glue it, guys. Just hot glue it. So here I'm just doing the finishing touches, and I know people are probably freaking out about those ends and those holes, but I refinished the ends with the stain, and I really didn't care about the holes, and I cleaned up that hot glue, so don't freak out too much. But here is the ending product. I like it. I know there's some things I could have tweaked, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate the support.